program has been phenomenal. I mean, candidly, I started in March, and my progress is really, it's been shocking to me. And maybe the best way I can give it is an example by comparison. The most successful program I'd ever tried before this program was HMR. And I was on that program for 2 years, and I went from 379, that's the heaviest I've ever been, down to 319 in 2 years. And then COVID hit, and within 3 months I was 350, and 3 months later I was 370, and then I just maintained about 379, 380. But starting this program in March to today, I've lost, well, I don't know what the math is, I'm a lawyer, I can't do math, but I was 297 pounds this morning.
And with other dietary programs he's done in the past, he would do them for a while, he'd have success, and then once he went off the program, he gained all his weight back. Well, now we like to talk about all the weight he's lost, but really what's impressive is the metabolic changes he's making in his life. Yes, he's losing a lot of weight, but his metabolic health is better. His blood pressure when he started was well over 200 to about, I think, 140, and now he's almost normal with his blood pressure. And I remember the day he came in with his wife, she was like, well, Rich, he's got high blood pressure, this is why he's here, and you're telling him to eat more fat and more salt, and that's exactly what my cardiologist is telling him not to do. And I was a little bit of a smart aleck, and I said, well, how's that been going for you so far, right? And not so well. And so he started to make these changes at Insulin IQ and what Dr. Bickman has been researching at BYU, and proof's in the pudding. He's killing it. He feels great. Exercise is a little bit sore. He's getting a little sore from that, but he's making the necessary changes to make this long term. It can't be about weight, and it can't be about short-term goals. It has to be about long-term metabolic health.
Yeah, my blood pressure this morning was 117/79.
With more fat and more salt.
Yeah, definitely. The why for me, in terms of this change, it just got very real for me. My daughter, who's a nurse, or I should say who's studying to become a nurse, was assigned to take someone's blood pressure on Thanksgiving of last year. And when she took my blood pressure, it was 220 over, I think it was 125. And I saw the shock on my wife's face. I saw my 2 daughters, who are both studying to become nurses. They literally wanted to take me to the hospital right then. I felt fine, but I had to recognize and accept the fact that I wasn't fine. And that was the first time in my life I'd ever been diagnosed with high blood pressure or any type of hypertension. I was big, but I'd never had a health problem. And suddenly now I'm gonna have to take a pill every day. I could just see where this was going. And I just decided that either I was gonna make a change or I wasn't. And if I didn't, the results were obvious on both sides of the table. But the why really was because I love my wife and kids. And I tell people all the time, I would do anything for them. So why wouldn't I make this change? The most challenging part of the dietary restriction is the fasting. That's hard. I hate fasting, period, anyway. But I really, really struggled with that at first. And I'm kind of the poster child for Mountain Dew Zero, because every morning I get up now and I get to work and I haven't had anything and my stomach's grumbling and I'm angry and cranky, and I drink my Mountain Dew Zero and I'm good to go. Or I have a little snippet of cheese. But honestly, that's the hardest part, is going without food from dinner until lunch. But in terms of what you get to eat, it's my favorite food. So I'd eat steak, kind of almost do at this point, every meal of the day, chicken, fish. You do get to a point where you kind of miss the pasta, and boy, the smell of bread will just make your mouth water, because you can't have those. But I have to admit, every Thursday or Wednesday, depending on the week, when I go in and get on the scale and watching that number drop as quickly as it has, that's motivating. Perhaps the largest and maybe most powerful element of this program is that it actually has the ability to be sustainable. When I was on HMR, for example, I was finding success more than I ever had, but I knew there was no way I was going to eat those prepackaged meals the rest of my life. I mean, they're garbage. Like, they taste horrible. This program is sustainable, and here's why. I'm still not getting a lot of sleep. I'm an attorney. I work a ton. As soon as we're done with this interview, I'm going to go back to the office because I have 3 motions due tomorrow. How do you not have stress as an attorney? When you still have those challenges and they're not going to go, you can't change that. You can't take it away from your life because that is your life. You have to find something that you can actually do. And I can go to a restaurant like I did tonight before this session, and I can order a Johnny platter at Carrabba's and just substitute the mezzaluna for broccoli. I can do that. I can have lobster. I can have shrimp. I can eat those things and be on this program and know that I can eat it until I'm full. If I want to have a 16-ounce steak, I can have a 16-ounce steak. And so it's sustainable. There is no caloric, like, I don't have to fill out an app. I don't have to stop in the middle of my day and figure out what my portion was and how many calories were in it. I would never do that. I get excited when I see the scale drop. Rich gets excited when he sees a % of body fat drop. Probably way more than I do. But it truly, I mean, it means a lot. It really does. And it moves you forward.